Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wait What We Talk About podcast, episode 135. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You join the chat and the conversation. If you're a subscriber over there, we'd love to have you in on all the fun. But if you can't catch it live, that is A-OK. You can go over to youtube.com and podcast services, just like Moose will. And you can check it out over there where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there, t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, support us, and we'd love you for it. So hello, it's been a week. It's been a week since podcast. It's been a week since podcast. What the fuck? Sorry about that. Just, not organized, I guess. So we're back. This is going to be a super long, well, not super long. This is going to be a longer episode. We're going to go back to the three topics to try and break up for that. And we got to make up for that. And we got a lot to talk about. However, heads up, this is a very random topic episode where the topics are going to vary quite a bit. Thanks, Artemis. So heads up there. If you want to just watch this in individual sections, I don't blame you. But as of recording for topic number 1, last night was Double or Nothing 2022 for AEW. So we want to talk about the matches and all the fun results that happened. And, let you know what I thought of the event overall. So, holy shit, there are a lot of matches in this freaking pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-view started at 8 Eastern and did not wrap until about 12:30 that night. So yeah, longer event. You had the buy-in, so technically I guess it started at 7, but that was only one match towards the end there. Matches included, so in the pre-show you had Hookhausen against Nice and Sterling. We had MJF versus Wardlow, the Young Bucks and the Hardys. We had Jade Cargill defending her TBS championship against Anna Jay. Death Triangle versus the House of Black. We had the men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Finals. Cole and Samoa Joe facing each other, along with the women's, with Britt Baker going against Ruby Soho. And then we had American Top Team, against Kazarian, Guevara, and Conti. We had Darby versus Kyle O'Reilly. Thunder Rosa defending her women's title against Serena Deeb. We had the Anarchy in the Arena match. The Jericho Appreciation Society against the Blackpool Combat Club. Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. We had the tag team title match. Jurassic Express defending against Lee and Swerve Strickland, along with Team Taz. And then we had the main event, Hangman Adam Page defending his world title against CM Punk. Did you remember all those? No. There was a lot of fucking matches. So we got a lot to cover. Overall, Double or Nothing, before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty, I would say was okay. AEW obviously puts on good events. They give everybody a lot of time for their matches, which is nice. But something felt off early in the night, and then nothing blew it out of the water. Like, I feel like obviously AEW has that different styling than WWE, obviously a lot more, I guess, indie and like faster pace and stuff like that. Nothing kind of rocked my socks, if we're going to throw it old school there. I would say the tag match between Jurassic Express, Team Taz, and Strickland and Lee was probably my favorite match. I think that was the most exciting. Death Triangle and House of Black was very fast-paced, and that was exciting to watch too. The Anarchy in the Arena was just pure chaos. I'll get more into detail with that. I would say those are the standouts. We did have one oh shit moment, at least where I popped off, and then two other, I would say, surprises. But let's get on into it with our opener. Well, I guess the pre-show. Let's get on to the pre-show. We got Hookhausen versus Sterling and Nice. Is it a surprise what this result was? No. Hookhausen wins. Good to see Danhausen actually wrestle. I don't have any experience personally with watching him wrestle with his Ring of Honor days, so I don't I know he can work, obviously, but I've never seen him actual wrestle. So it was nice to see that, see him, doing some stuff, but also mix, obviously, his comedy routine into there. It's going to be interesting to see how the chemistry between Hook and Danhausen continues to build over the coming months. We had some fun with the curses. Danhausen got the pin on Sterling by just flexing. It was a good time. Short, sweet, not really, anything unpredictable there. So yeah, standard, match. So now the real opener, which, interesting choice, but I guess based on all the media that was going around, kind of made sense that we had to start with this to kind of quiet all the doubters, I guess you could say. It was MJF versus Wardlow, and MJF didn't fly away. Holy shit. Obviously, yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around that, well, I don't know if that's a rumor, but that was a fact. He no-showed the Fan Fest and some signings. There was rumors that he had a plane that was going to bring him home, and he was not going to be at the event. He was at the event, clearly. He made fun of it a little bit with his entrance, as he kind of did like an airplane motion in the ring. And then Wardlow comes out, a.k.a. Goldberg. Oh my fucking God. You could not be any more just like obvious with it. I didn't think they wanted the comparisons. Obviously, every fan's been chanting, Wardlow like they would chant Goldberg in the arenas. But comes out of his own room. He's got the handcuffs. He's got the security next to him. They do the whole walking out with him. No music still. No pyro. He didn't do the fight in the fireworks bullshit that Goldberg does, even though it is cool when he blows the smoke out of his nose. Didn't do that, but it was essentially like, okay, you're fucking just, this is you, I guess. So yeah, match once again. The result wasn't surprising. I would say from a booking standpoint, from a story point standpoint, I understand what they did. Essentially, it was a squash match. Wardlow, beat the shit out of MJF. MJF tried to run, tried to cheat, got caught, tried to, apologize, and then Wardlow powerbombed him 10 times. And that was it. That was all she wrote. And then MJF got stretchered away with the worst air mask thing where it wasn't covering his mouth. So, yeah, I get it. I was hoping for more. And, maybe that's me being selfish and being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. We know MJF can talk. We know he can wrestle. We've seen that. I was hoping for a little bit more of back and forth here. But once again, it's me being selfish. I get it from a story point why this works out. Gets the revenge on his evil boss and the asshole, and you put Wardlow, you push him, and now he can go do his own thing and be successful there. So anyways, squash, quick, very simple. Now, on MJF real quick. He's great. Obviously, he's a great heel. We're all supposed to hate him. We do. He's pretty much a douchebag. If whatever rumors swirling around, if there's anything true about that, where, either he's upset, he's stressed, he's anxious, whatever it is, I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing fine. The stretcher gimmick thing at the end would kind of signify some time off, so I hope he takes this time off and, recoups. Like Papa Griff mentioned in chat, there's all this banter going around with WWE. I thought this was just something that, he could play along with the fans and, mess with us, work, brother, I was thinking it was just that, but if he is legitimately upset in AEW and not happy, then let's figure out that stuff too. All in all, he's good. Hope he is healthy and happy or can get to that point. We're all good. Glad he was there. Glad he did the job and, put Wardlow over to the next spot. Now let's move on. Let him do his thing. Meh. Yeah, we could have sent Spears out to be a sacrifice one more time, but meh. Didn't happen. Moving on to match 2, which was I wouldn't say my most highly anticipated match, but I was looking forward to it. We got the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. Now, this is the dream match. Obviously, we've had this before on the Indies, Ring of Honor, I'm sure some other places. And did they deliver this time? No, I don't think they did. I think this match kind of sucked, to be honest. I was wondering if it was just me. Bucks came out, obviously had a good entrance. Hardys came out. And Jeff looked out of it. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe he's selling the injury. I don't know. He looked bad and rough. So, I went to Twitter. Just curious. Yeah, whatever. There's a lot of other people making this observation. The match proceeds, and it follows. There's a couple times where he's moving around the ring, maybe a little bit out of place, or he's focused on other stuff, climbing the top rope, kind of losing his footing. Once again, is it him selling the back injury? Maybe. He never really grabbed at his back or went like that, so I don't think it is. It was just very awkward. I think the Bucks did a fantastic job. They kept, obviously, the match going along. They fucking nailed some super kicks in there. Like, they were brutal. Like, if you didn't know, like, that was, fake planned. Like, Jesus, they did a really good job of nailing those. Solid super kicks. They kept the match going. We had a fun moment with Cutler. Cutler was getting some chants from the crowd, and then Nick went over and smacked them because he was celebrating. But yeah, that match was rough. Matt seemed to take the brunt of it and obviously be out there for a lot of it and keep it going. But man, that was definitely a low point. And especially after following up the MJF situation of just like the squash, it was not a good start to this pay-per-view. Having those two matches back to back. Once again, hope Jeff's okay. Hopefully he's not going back down a road that he's traveled in the past. None of my business. Just only can obviously say what I saw. So, Hardy's went over here, over Bucks, and we'll have to see where that goes from here. Next match. 1 second. Was Jade Cargill defending her TBS championship against Anna Jay. Okay. Another one that was like, well, not really going to be anything too super special about this one. I do appreciate that they gave Anna Jay a little bit more time to obviously do her stuff. It wasn't just a bam and, Jade goes over. Jade obviously retains, goes to 32-0, whatever. Some interesting observations. Anna Jay sported her original gimmick, the Star of the Ring or whatever it was, when she first debuted. Still threw up the Dark Order hand sign, so I think all is well. I thought that was an interesting observation. Jade had a new look, had Asuka hair, half pink, half blue. Looked good. I thought we were going green for money, but, whatever. And then we get hella interference in this match. The baddies interfere. Kier Hogan and Red Velvet, they interfere. Mark Sterling comes out and interferes. Johnny Hungy, John Silver comes out and beats up Sterling. Then we get surprise number 1, where Malcolm Bivens from NXT, or formerly known as, now known as Stokely Hathaway, walked out, distracts. Cargill performs the Glamazon slam thingy from the top rope on Anna Jay, retains her title. And then we get the beating. Baddies beat up Anna Jay. Here comes the hero, Chris Statlander. Everybody loves the alien. She comes out to help her friend. And we get the big stare down. And then we get the biggest pop of the night. You can ask Peanut Gallery. I kind of freaked out on this one. We get Athena showing up. We get formerly known Ember Moon making her appearance for All Elite. So, happy for her. Interesting place to put her in this situation. Will she be the one to take down Jade overall? We'll see. Obviously seems like something will happen there. But cool to see her there. Awesome. Good for her. Next match. was Death Triangle versus the House of Black. Okay, this one was fast-paced as fuck. Alright, very fun, very exciting. A lot of high dives, some scary dives on part of one Brody King. Jeez, he's a big man. You gotta get some legs in there. He jumped over the rope at one point, and it almost looked like he caught mainly the apron on his dive, so that kind of sucked. One thing I'll say about it was mainly this match, but most of the night, AEW has a problem with camera angles. Either they linger on stuff too long, or they switch away and you miss moments. This match, I felt like they missed some stuff. And kind of stinks because you got this move happening on the side, but you're focusing on this guy's reaction or this guy laying down selling, and you're missing something going on. So I think that's an area that they can improve. I know WWE gets made fun of all the time for all the rapid cuts, but when the guys are moving fast, you kind of have to do that, especially in this company. So I feel they need to improve on that, kind of see where the action is and react to it. And I don't know if maybe talking to the wrestlers beforehand would help in that situation from a presentation standpoint, but just something I noticed. So how did this match end up? So Death Triangle gets in control. Abrahantes hops on the ring apron. He's like, yeah, go Pac, get him. He distracts the referee. Uh-oh. All right. And you thought, okay, House of Black's going to turn this around now. Aleister Black in the ring. The other two were taken care of outside the ring. Malachi is going to turn around here. No. Instead, Pac low blows him. And nails him with something. But anyways, he's on the ground. So he's going to go set up for the Falcon Arrow, Black Arrow, whatever he's calling it now. Gets to the top, we get the lights out. Oh shit, another person showing up. And it's the frickin' transformation finally finishing up. It's Julia Hart, now joining the House of Black. No eye patch, all dressed in black. Spits the mist at Pac's face. He'll fall. Catches a spin hook kick from Malachi. The House of Black will win and take this one. So, after months and months and months, after Julia has gotten the poison in her eye, she is now fully part of the House of Black. It's gonna be interesting to see where this goes, because Julia, I don't know, doesn't have, not from an in-ring perspective, but doesn't have a lot going for her right now. The only personality traits I know of is she's a cheerleader and she's a 2-time winner thingy, and she just throw up the 2s whenever she was with Varsity Blondes. So we'll have to expand on her. Hopefully it's good. We'll see. Does this mean Death Triangle now gets a woman representative? Maybe, or we're moving on to something else. I don't know. We'll have to see. Time will tell. We're going to move on to the Owen Hart's men's tournament final next with Adam Cole Bay against Samoa Joe. Slight observation, no TV title with Joe when he comes out. We got Mike Chioda as referee. Match was okay, pretty standard. Once again, nothing kind of stood out, which I feel is the common thread for most of this night. And I'm sure a lot of other wrestling fans are like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was fine. It was okay. Bobby Fish interfered at some point. Cole gets the win. We're going to have the title celebration later on. And it seemed like Papa Griff's prediction was going to come true as we move on to the women's final of Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker. Only cool thing from this match, and that sounds bad, both of them got played out to the ring. We got Fozzie's guitarist playing Britt Baker out to the ring, and then we had Rancid playing Ruby Soho for Ruby Soho as she came out. Seemed like she loved that moment. I know she's been a big fan of the group, so happy for her in that moment. Not happy for her in the match outcome, because both ladies did great. Really good match. Definitely. Britt goes for the lockjaw. Ruby fights her off, pulls the hand away, goes for a pin. They get out of it. Ruby's gonna hit her, like, enziguri kicky thingy. I don't know what it's called. This is real good stuff. And then goes for a sharpshooter. I'm like, oh, okay, a little homage here. Wasn't the best sharpshooter. Bret was working her leg earlier, so, you know, she was kind of selling that kind of on the ground. So the two go to the top rope. I think it was the top rope. And Ruby goes for some kind of victory roll flip thing over her into a pinning predicament on Baker. 1-2. Bret reverses the weight and gets on top of Ruby. 1-2-3. She won with a roll-up. What the fuck was that? Like, nothing, no big moment, nothing. Just, let's go to the top rope, almost like a Canadian destroyer, if I'm recalling correctly. Flip it back over. What? So, power couple wins here. I mean, cool, but this tournament sucked. I think overall the tournament, was it a good idea? Yes. Obviously, let's memorialize Owen Hart, obviously, and his, you know, the things he did for wrestling. Great, let's do that. I think the execution of this tournament could have been a lot better. You had, 8 participants or something like that. The ladies started it off and then did like 4 weeks of the initial winners, or qualifiers rather, just bickering at each other backstage. 4 weeks. 4 weeks on just in a backstage interview. Like, oh, I'm going to meet you in round 1 and blah, blah, blah. Like, do something different. Get a build going. Do anything. Statlander coming in for Hikaru Shida as a replacement. Obviously, I don't know if that was super planned. Probably not. Things happen. I just didn't feel any, like, I should care, to be honest. Like, is it cool they got the memorial, like, title belts and they got the World Cup engraving, the Tournament Cup engraving? Sure, but we didn't know about that going in. And, like, where do they go now? Is it just, like, bragging rights? Like, oh, yeah, I got that. Or is it just padding everybody's single records who did well in the tournament? I don't know. I didn't care. Didn't care at all. Like, Cole and Joe should have been a fantastic match. We never got that in NXT. We got teased for it. But that could have been way better. Baker and Soho, like I said, it was good, but that finish just was like good match, and then flat ending. It just, I don't know. It didn't, exactly. It is like the MJF ring, the diamond ring thing. Why? What does this matter? So MJF can cheat with it? Okay. What if fucking Dante Martin wins it? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna flip with the ring? What? It's a FTW belt. We can do the same thing. At least they fight over it, but does it really mean anything? It's a belt Taz brought. It's not even an AEW official belt. Who cares? Who cares? And I feel that was the case for some of these rivalries too. Like, no build. And they have all this time, and it's like almost too much build. Like, there's got to be some balance here. Like, I think Punk and Hangman had a decent build, you know? But, like, Rosa and Deeb, we fucking tried to speed run this in the last week going into this pay-per-view as Deeb comes out and does this big promo. And then Thunder Rosa wasn't on TV for a month, or if she was, she would get interrupted by, like, Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero, or just doing nothing. Like, is she working at Mission Pro Wrestling? If she's doing that thing, fine. She's now on Bustin' Open for an hour on Fridays. I don't remember what day. Good for her. What are you doing? We had this big chase. I'm skipping ahead to their match. We had this big chase with Thunder Rosa. The chase. We have this big moment in Texas. Yeah, she won. Then you do nothing. Nothing with her. Why? What are we doing? And that could be said, the same thing could kind of be said about Jurassic Express. This tag team match was a tag team match that felt like they were worthy champions. They've defended their titles, I know, before, during their run. I guess Bucks, FTR, other teams, they defended it. But this match felt like the first one that actually, like, legitimized their run. The rest were kind of, no build, it was fine. It was okay, but I don't know. This tournament just fell flat, in my opinion. Seems like it's going to be a regular thing. That's okay. Let's learn from what we did here. Let's try and do it better. Interweave some storylines into the participants besides just bitch, moan, point. Like, do something with it. I don't know. Anyways. Men of the Year with Paige Van Zant against Guevara, Conti, and Kaz. Weird team up here. Who's a good guy? Who's a bad guy? Sammy and Ty are really leaning into the whole getting booed thing, which I get it. Steering to the skid or whatever the fucking phrase is. Great. They're doing that. But everybody's a bad guy here except for Kazarian. Whole match Guevara was showboating, checking on Ty. They're all lovey-dovey, whatever. Like I said, steering into the skid. There's the friction between Kaz and them. Van Zant did okay in the ring. Good for her. She didn't get the big finish like I thought she would. Against Ty, she got some moves in. But the finish is going to be a TKO from Scorpio and Kazarian. After Kazarian comes in and wrecks shop. We got one big moment where Guevara did super kick Ty accidentally. But Men of the Year and Van Zant are going to win this, so that means Guevara and Kazarian can no longer challenge for the TNT title as long as Scorpio Sky has it. Okay. Then we get the filler. We get Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. That's it. 2 iffy dives from Darby. One very low, hit the apron, and then one was planned, but he was caught in the choke by O'Reilly, kind of like under his arm. Almost looked like he could hit his head like a DDT into the floor, like the entrance ramp, but I get that spot was planned. Kyle used Darby's chain to flip him over at one point, hits him with 3 penalty kicks, and then a knee drop for the win. Meh. AEW Women's Championship. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. Ladies put on a good match. Nothing super memorable. Rosa retains. You liking these descriptions? Yeah, this was most of the night. So now we get to the most insane match of the night, as we're going to get the Jericho Appreciation Society against Kingston and the Crew. This one was pure chaos. You could almost say it was anarchy in the arena. Oh my god, that's the name of the match. Holy shit, these guys just went at it anywhere and everywhere. And the cameras were cutting, like there's too much going on. They could barely keep up with what the fuck was happening. You had Moxley and Matt Menard starting it off somewhere. You had Santana and Ortiz fighting Angelo and fucking Hager. And then you had Kingston and who the fuck else is there? Kingston and what's the kid's name? Daniel Garcia going at it. Daniel Bryan was fighting Angelo at one point. Jericho swapped. I don't know. The fucking bodies everywhere. And boy, did it get violent. Moxley brought a fork to the fight and stabbed the shit out of Matt Menard's head. He was fucking Crimson Mask, bleeding everywhere. Bryan and Angelo were fighting in the seats that were unsold in the tarped area. Kingston and Garcia were in the back. Kingston was getting choked by his chain being dragged around. They got into a freight elevator and went down somewhere. Santana and Ortiz did a really cool table spot on Hager where I think it was Santana was yeah. One of them was holding them up. The other one was in the ring, jumped out, like blockbustered them, and they powerbombed them through some tables. They also did this dueling frog splash off of a ladder onto two guys. Anyways, so much going on. I had to pee. I left, came back. It was still going on. So at some point, Jericho Appreciation Society turned it around. Oh yeah, Wild Thing was playing for like a half of this match. So I come back. Somehow Jericho Appreciation Society has turned it around. Apparently Kingston wanted to set Jericho on fire because of the fireball that Jericho had shot in his face. So he poured gasoline on him. Hager makes the save. And then they take Daniel Bryan, walls of Jericho, and then the top ring rope was unhooked. Hager took it and wrapped it around Daniel's neck and just fucking lifted him up. It looked like he was going to kill the man. And Daniel Bryan went unconscious because of the pain. And Jericho Appreciation Society won. A lot going on. Hard to keep track of. And holy crap, violent. Jeez. I could definitely see it in a way. Like this was a live audience. Like just the chaos. And like it was fun. Especially with Wild Thing playing on. It like, woo, you know. But also from a fan perspective, like if you're just sitting there, you're either watching the monitor or you're looking around trying to find where the fuck people are. I don't know. I know the pre-tape stuff, like Stadium Stampede, Ultimate Deletion, I know that's a little bit weird for a live crowd, but at least with that presentation, it can be this chaoticness. But obviously it's edited and planned. You can see everything. They did a pretty good job of cutting in between to catch the big moments. But it felt almost like too much and a clusterfuck. So, I don't know. Should have just run a War Games. That probably would have been a lot better. Because then the focus would have just been in one spot. Yeah, for sure. So that was that. Tag team match: Jungle Express versus Lee and Swerve, Hobbs and Stark. This was my match of the night. This was my favorite one. Started off chaotic. I thought, oh, is this tornado rules? But no, it went to triangle, like the corners. A lot of good stuff here. Everybody got their shots in. We got some personality from Starks with his, dancing going around. Lee looked like he was having a blast out there. He was making fun of people for getting hit with like certain moves. He sang at one point at people. Swerve did the awesome backflip moonsault off of Keith Lee at another point. Yeah, great match by all. I know a lot of people are surprised that Jurassic Express retained here. Not gonna lie, I was as well. But I have no problem with them being tag champs. And once again, I think this was a match that solidified their run, and we need more of these. Stark and Hobbs did great. Lee and Swerve did great. I can see them obviously keep pushing them in this tag division, keep them relevant. Don't just, oh, you got your shot and now you go back to the back of the line. I get that from a ranking perspective, but don't forget about them, essentially is what I mean. Like, keep having these teams have good matches with either each other or different teams. Keep them involved, because it was good. There was something here I wanted to point out. Luchasaurus. I think we need to do more with Luchasaurus. I love Luchasaurus, but he does the same thing every match. He's doing the John Cena 5 moves of doom. Please expand your character, your move set. He did the same. It was him, Hobbs, and Lee. Same double clothesline. Same roll through kip up thing. The hook kick where one guy ducks, then the roundhouse kick. He didn't do his moonsault, surprisingly, in this match. He attempted choke slams. But it was essentially like, oh, here's the Luchasaurus spot. I want them to do more with him. Also, his character is now resorted to him just going, blah. And I get it, he's a dinosaur. But the man can talk. Let him talk in promos. Let him do something. Let him have a personality instead of just, wah. I don't know. People thought Christian Cage was going to turn tonight. And I can definitely see reasons for it, like the teases, obviously, they've had. But with the Jurassic Express retaining here, it did not make sense. Christian did help them retain, as Starks attempted to cheat a few times with the FTW belt. Christian would lift up Jungle Boy at the end in celebration. Didn't swing at him there, slam him down. So all good still with Christian Cage and Jurassic Express for now. Then we get our main event. CM Punk versus Hangman Page. Okay, thoughts on this one? Another confusing one of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. In this build, it seemed like Punk was turning heel, at least from my perspective. Seemed like he was turning heel. He was a little bit more aggressive with his tone and a little bit more negative towards fans here and there. So I thought, okay, Punk's the heel here. Also, Page was making the claim of, like, he's going to save us from Punk being the world champion. I don't know if it's been going around or whatever. Punk wins the Ring of Honor title, world title, becomes heel. He wins the WWE Championship, turns heel. So it was like this pattern. So Hangman was noticing that, trying to prevent that. But in this match, it almost like seemed like they flipped roles, where Page was the heel at times. And I was wondering why. And I'm not sure if it was just because he was so determined to keep this belt off of Punk that he was doing this. He didn't do anything super dastardly. Later on, he would have a moment of conflict with himself of whether he should cheat and use the world title after the ref got knocked out, but he decided not to, which would lead to the finish. It seemed odd. Also, notable in this match, two had a good match, slowed the pace down, did well. Punk attempts to hit the buckshot lariat. We saw him hit it on John Silver a few weeks ago. Attempts it. Messes up. I get it. It's a hard move, you know. You're essentially doing like a handspring into the ring. Loses his footing, falls. Whatever. We recover. Hangman tries to hit him with something. Reverse. Blah, blah, blah. Punk tries to go for it again. And messes up a second time. Brother, if it didn't work the first time, don't do it again. Yikes. That was not great. Fans did kind of turn on him a little bit at that point. Speaking of the crowd, a lot of CM Punk favoring him, but at one point we had a dueling chant and it seemed pretty 50-50. So at least both guys are, you know, being supported in that facet. So yes, we do get to the finale. So I mentioned Hangman has this conflict with the world title. Does he use it to hit Punk? Does he not? The ref got knocked out because Punk picked up Hangman for a GTS. Feet hit the ref. Ref goes down. Hangman falls off of Punk, gives him a lariat. No pin there. They kind of just sit there, recoup. Hangman grabs the belt from the corner, threatens to use it, decides not to, tosses it. Punk hits him with a kick, I believe. Then the GTS. Ref magically wakes up, slowly saunters over. 1, 2, and 3. And Punk is your champion. How do I feel about this overall? I don't know what it is per se. I was very happy when Punk returned, obviously, to AEW. That was a huge moment. Huge for sure. But for some reason, he soured on me fast. And it's not that I don't want to see him in AEW or wrestle or anything like that. No, absolutely not. it's just, it's weird. It's hard to say because I like Punk, and obviously I've been a fan of Punk in the past. If you've seen, t-shirts, hoodies that I'm wearing, etc. It's just like burnout from him. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I want something different. So seeing him win the title here, I get it. From a business standpoint, Punk's over. Duh. People love Punk. That's why you brought him back in the first place. It was this huge moment. So put the title on him. Okay. I talked with Papa Griff about this even before Double or Nothing happened. Does he win? I said no. Then he proceeded to ask me, does he win ever? And I couldn't answer. I didn't know officially. And he mentioned, like, he could see it happening, but he didn't want Hangman to be the one to hand it over. And I think the big reason for this is we both see Hangman like he's new, he's fresh. I get it. Ring of Honor stuff, New Japan stuff. I understand that. For the general and brand new audience, hi, how are you? I feel like we should have kept him as champion. Punk could have won it at a different time, or maybe later on, maybe a second match or something. This is an interesting move. Punk was able to have good matches with people and put them over without the belt. Now he has the belt as well. So it's this weird kind of hang up of like, does he need it? I don't think so. Obviously, Punk is Punk. Win or loss, he's still, he can work. He's over. Now he's holding on to the belt, which not like Hangman had to rely on the belt, but it put more eyes on Hangman to elevate him. So a little discouraging there. Now, where does it go from here? Punk at the end of the show. He's celebrating. He's emotional. Good. I'm glad. Glad he's, happy with what's going on here. And hopefully has found his love for wrestling again. He bows to the belt, bows to the crowd. We get this lingering. We get some replays, whatever. Okay, are they going to build to something, reveal something, maybe for a Forbidden Door? No. After all that, it cuts. Apparently after the show, Dax and Hardwood, I think those are both two different names, FTR comes out, they celebrate with him. I don't know why they're besties now, but whatever. Where does he go from here? It seems like he's a sticking good guy with obviously these reactions and the post for the Vegas audience. I kind of want him to do the heel turn here. I want him to fall into this pattern. And I just think that would help make this mountain or this obstacle for people that people want to be taken down. Whether it's a Hangman being like, nah, I told you so, but Hangman be that savior, or it's even hard to say. I don't know who would come in and be this big face. Bryan's already busy with Blackpool. Same with Moxley. I don't know. I'm having a real tough time, and that's kind of scary to think about, especially with their roster depth. Like who's next? Who's in the world title picture? So I kind of want to do that, but I don't know if he will. And then if he does stay good guy, who is the heel that will come in? I don't think Omega's ready to come back. Would that be interesting? Sure, I'd be down, but I don't think he's ready to come back. If you get another new signee like a Cesaro, would it be cool? Yes. Does it make sense? No. Does Miro come back for this? Cool to see Miro back, but honestly, I'm not that would not be a match I'd be excited for. Murderhawk Monster has no legitimacy. Sorry, Lance Archer, you could probably kill me with a blink of a flick of your finger, but who's Who's there? Does Jericho go for it? Ugh. I don't know. I don't know what happens next. And like I said, that feels so weird to say. Because you have a shit ton of people. And I watch week to week for Dynamite, but I can't think of any standouts. To be honest. I don't know. And maybe that's a lapse in my judgment. If so, fair enough. But I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. Obviously, we got to build the Forbidden Door. I forgot about one other surprise that happened. I don't know if it's Forbidden Door related. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. We did get one other surprise along with Stokely and Athena. Andrade had a backstage segment saying how he hated the Andrade House Family Order, whatever the fuck it's called. Hated the name of the stable. Still keeping them together, I guess, but just hated that. And has introduced a new partner. And it's Rush, or I think it's Toro Blanco or something like that. So, okay, I don't know much about this guy, but we got a new signee. Cool. We'll have to see what he does. So Bobby Griffin chat says Adam Cole. What about Adam Cole? Does he go for the title? He would probably be the forerunner, right? He's got the tournament win, so obviously he's padded his singles fucking ranking a little bit. I guess he would be the forefront, but when do we start getting into the Undisputed Elite drama, the Bullet Club stuff with Forbidden Door coming up? Like, are him and Switchblade seem cool, so I doubt they're gonna feud. It's hard to say. I don't know. So overall, how was Double or Nothing? It was okay. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just getting burnt out on AEW, and that seems weird to say. But even week to week, I'm like, it's on at this point. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me and wrestling. Maybe I can only watch the pay-per-views. Maybe watching week to week isn't something for me. Like, I haven't watched NXT in a while, but I don't know. I feel like when I was watching NXT, I was more invested in things. And, you know, that was before the whole 2.0 stuff, so don't yell at me too much there. I don't know. It's an interesting situation. I want them to do well, and I know they can do well. Obviously, they've showed that. They showed that hand over fist. They can do well. And I want them to do well because it is entertaining and it is fun. And, you know, competition makes everybody better. But at this point, it's just, And it's the same with WWE. It's just, yeah, there's things going on. I want them to do stuff that's interesting, but at the moment, it's like, I'll put it on, but I'm not going to, like, sit down and really invest in it. I'll listen to it. I'll look over, glance. I might be doing something else, playing a game or whatever, but I don't know. Just, it fell flat to me. And especially as one of their biggest pay-per-views, granted, I know they only have, like, 4? This felt off. I don't know if less matches would have helped. I think build for sure would have helped. We already talked about it. Some things just kind of seemed thrown together or had some to little build at all. I think in 3 months in between pay-per-views, you would think there would be something. Even if there's like 2 rivalries, like you have a rivalry that's not a pay-per-view finish, and then you have a month and a half build for something different. That's fine, because I get it. It's hard. 12 weeks is hard to stretch out a story. Sometimes you gotta make them shorter, you know? Especially in today's society. We're all brain dead and want things now. I don't know. It just, yeah. This was the first one I felt, about overall. I don't know. I just hope for more better stuff in the future.